So, Ultima is essentially a Forsaken monument. So, it just doubles your lands. So, you play it, and ideally, you untap with at least 9 mana, right? Probably always involves a mana rock, and this thing doesn't double mana rock mana, as far as I'm to understand it. Nope. I do not care at all. In fact, I don't even see the blight counter mechanic as a relevant piece of text for really anything in this format at all. I don't think there's a single case where the blight counter will do anything against any commander in historic brawl, so it doesn't matter. In my opinion, I don't know, we'll see. But that's kind of the vibe. It's essentially Forsaken Monument in the command zone. So it's sort of like playing Azusa in the command zone. You have this cool thing. Look at how cool it is. But it doesn't do anything unless you have something to do after you play it. So you need to cast your scary thing out of hand. This is probably incredibly close to just playing colorless Azusa, which then means it's probably worse than Azusa. But, you know, it's new and might as well try. It does lead to a unique colorless deck that might not be a thing that you play in other colorless decks where you play fewer mana rocks, because it is your one giant scary mana rock. It is a creature and doesn't have any sort of protecting itself, which is a huge problem. Absolutely massive problem for this deck. And this card specifically, but thus then the deck. This is probably going to die all the time, and I'm going to be upset. But some games it won't, and in those games, we're not upset. So you need to cast it, and then you need to pass the turn, probably. And then you need to get back to your turn with it in play, and you also need to cast something out of your hand that you couldn't have already cast that's hopefully very scary. And, yeah, so you can play Cavern of Souls, unlike Ugin and stuff. You can play... Oh, there's this new card. Summon Bahamut, a giant, terrifying, colorless threat of complete nonsense, and I like everything it's doing. But it costs 9, and probably isn't going to show up too much without my commander. But if my commander does die, I can continue the game after. It's not completely over, I would say. You get to play Ujin's Labyrinth. I'm normally back and forth on this one, but you can play it here because you have so many cards that actually exile it. There's another card that I might want to run that I don't think I've ever ran before. Devourer of Destiny. Could probably run this. It has a pretty efficient start of game effect. It costs 7 for... Yeah, alright, this should be in here. Let's be real. That should be in here. I don't know what it'll take out, but... Battlethopter? What? I don't know why we want Flash so bad. Why do we care about this? I guess. I don't know. Okay, alright. Chat's yelling at me about Battlethopters, so I guess that's going to be in here. I don't see it mattering to give my deck Flash. It's nice, but it doesn't really fundamentally change why we've won or lost most games. But I mean, we can try it. We can try it. Yeah, Platinum Angel is bad, but it is a card that this likes to cast after you've untapped with it, and it's also a card for Ujin's Labyrinth, so I would sooner take out Mascot Exhibition. I think this is just way worse than Platinum Angel, honestly. But I'm just going to run 7s for Ujin's Labyrinth. Well, your blue player can just counter your 3-mana Battlecopter, or bounce it, or kill it. Like, this isn't, like, special. It doesn't change the blue matchup, in my opinion, at all. You're not getting your opponent by surprise. I'm sure there's been games where that has mattered, but I'm not. Man, look at our flashing thing stop the blue player. Oh my goodness. Look at it go. Look at it go, chat. It's not a real card. I'm sorry. That's not a real card. That's not a... I'm so beyond not convinced. I'm going to take out Thought Knot Seer, actually. Taking out Thought Knot gives the Faceless Agent more shots at hitting a giant scary threat, which we need to play out of hand because we're closer to Azusa than anything. Could take out... Yeah, let's take out It That Heralds the End. This doesn't really fundamentally change anything. Discounting 7s down to 6s doesn't change the math of Ultima and Ramp with, like, Power Stone and Mind Stone. So I don't think this actually does anything. It's at a... It's just at a weird breakpoint that's not really relevant many times. Yep, I've convinced myself of that, so we're going to take that out. Okay, let's start here. Sure? This could work. I don't think I've ever seen that avatar before. That my phone was using. At least I haven't noticed it. Maybe Expedition map is also a bit unnecessary. Could just be an actual mana rock. Does this mana help me do anything? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it actually does here. I think treasure map's in here. I think it's in here? I'm not too sure. It might not be. Maze Mind's Tome. Sure. Is there anything I could draw off that? No. Sculpting Steel entering as Maze Mind's Tome? Yeah, that's fine. I can find lands. So, 5. This can be a land 6. I think I have to keep that. It's another game where my opponent has answered every card I've played, by the way. Arcway. And again, there's not anything I could possibly draw that's relevant here, so I won't. I could have drawn Wayfarer's Bauble, actually. Could have drawn it, technically. Couldn't have cracked it, but... Yeah, it has the set that it's from. The Urza's Invention set version of Maze Mind's Tome. Mithril Coat does not look productive. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. We can play Sire, but it doesn't have, like, hexproof or anything. How do you pick up the land? You just tap the land? Okay, you just tap it. I should play this, right? I don't know what else I'm doing. I mean, I could play this, and that gets me closer to Ulamog, But Sire of Seven Deaths could potentially do something. I don't think it will. They're just going to pay 7 life. They have a Ruin spell. Oh, look at that. They don't even have to pay 7 life, chat. They just had the answer out of graveyard. Alright. Okay, well, so far, every single game we've played, everything we have done has been answered. Everything we've done. It's not... No, it is a rare. Okay. Does that change anything? Not really, but it can plus into cards that could matter, I guess, and we're losing, so maybe it helps. My opponent got rid of their own commander, but I don't think that mattered. In fact, maybe they just should have let Sire exist. I feel like just not sacking your commander is better than... It's not like my Sire of Sanity is actually doing anything. You know, it stops you from swinging for a while, but not really anything long-term. I don't know. If that's your only answer to it, actually, you don't want me to play another creature. So, that's fair. That is fair. I'll give it to you. Just looked a little weird. Just looked a bit strange. Do I kill Glarb? No. Could have maybe scryed first, but it... I don't think that matters too much. Alright, they drew a land for the turn. Let's hope they don't just suddenly have Casualties of War. Now that I have a board state for the first time in 40 minutes. Oh, I guess River's Rebuke could be a problem too. Does Sidisi play those cards? I don't know. I don't see why they wouldn't. Who knows? Wow, they kept the card on top. This happened last time we played against Sidisi. Instead of milling the card for like Sidisi triggers, they just keep it on top. And I'm sure they won't surveil it away with Glarb either, so... that does work, but it is a land, so... It's not on my to-do list here. Okay, so I can cast Ulamog, but then I can't really... I probably... This might look a bit weird, but I might want to hit 2 lands here with Ulamog because they scryed a card on top, and it's hard to imagine that card is a problem still if I choose to... I'm always plussing, I'm not getting rid of this. If I choose to hit 2 lands. I could have blown up Sidisi. No, I'm just going to do this. Yep. We're doing this. Okay. Could have killed Sidisi. But I feel as though Sidisi's ability is not scary. We also find out what this card is, maybe. Now they can get rid of it with Glarb because they can't cast it. No, they kept it. Bad News Bears. They kept that card. They surveilled it on top, surveilled it on top, kept it. Hello, Tana. Just in time to watch us maybe win our first game? Maybe, sort of, kind of, maybe? Okay. I can't Mithril Plate anything, right? No. Okay. I'm not really sure why they didn't target Ugin, but I'll take it. Oh, because they wanted to kill Ugin with swinging? Oh, Mithril Plate only goes to Legendaries, chat. We messed up. Tragic. Messed up big time. Not really. Not really. I mean, it's just kind of funny. I can't draw with this now. That's funny. Looks like I have to read my cards. Ugin, or Ulamog now has double indestructible. Oh, they just had another answer. Alright. Fascinating. Literally everything we cast is answered. So now I have to find a land. 6, 7, 8, 9... Wait, do I? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6, 7, 8... I do not have to find a land. I'll keep that. 6, 7, 8... No, I do not have to find a land. Am I in a Mindslaver position? Mindslaver steals a turn, it doesn't Ulamog, so I guess I am in a Mindslaver position. Though there is a good chance I can't really screw my opponent up. But, I mean, I can't have everything. Instantly mills 2 removal spells, right? Yep. Okay. Why not? Alright, so... Bone Shards. Sack a creature. We sack... We target Sidisi. We sack Glarb. Keep that in the graveyard. Can play... We channel this. Wait. No, we pick up the removal spell again, right? I played the wrong card. Played the wrong card. Alright, now I just have to force myself. I'm sorry, chat, I messed up. I was gonna pick up Bone Shards and hose my opponent a bit more, but whoops. That's my bad. Fortunately, I don't think it matters in any way. I don't think it matters in any way. Yeah, it doesn't. It didn't actually matter. It didn't actually matter. But it could have mattered. It could have mattered. This is slightly better, not by much though. Of course they're on the play. Hopefully it doesn't matter though. This is Ugin, right? Yep. Let's play you and Pat. Oh, forgot. I forgot. Yep, we always play this. I'll keep a land for sure. Oh no, they have a colored card. How much you want to bet my opponent's going to randomly generate an answer to my commander in their colorless Ugin deck, which probably doesn't have an answer to my commander? Just given the track record of this game. I don't care about this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, play my own. Probably discard. Well, it depends what I find. This is okay. We can get rid of Platinum Angel. There's not many cards my opponent can actually genuinely have that deal with Platinum Angel, so I'm actually going to keep Platinum Angel. Does my opponent even bother okay. was gonna say, do they even bother casting that? But they do. Search your library for anyone comes to exile them, shuffle, you may cast those cards. Okay. So they can cast whatever they want through my God Pharaoh statue, assuming they have floating mana, and it's pretty likely they'll have floating mana. So let's play this. They only have one colored mana here, and the key to the archive does not give you access to anything that would matter in this specific juncture here, so like Lightning Bolt doesn't do it or whatever. Alright, so we get to put damage onto Ugin, which is the big thing. And we blight their fountain, because that's funny. Could blight this colored source, but I don't care. Alright, I just wanted damage here. Can't, like, race to an ultimate. That shuts down my key, I guess. I could have scryed in response, actually. I'm not really concerned about that, though, honestly. It doesn't stop much. It stops you from casting this, though. Yep. Yep. All the mythic rare artifacts. Why not? They could have plus the One Ring. I have no answer to it. Could have just been an indestructible 4/4. I'll let them draw. They probably scryed a good card on top. Or, yeah, you know what I mean. That doesn't really do much. No siree. Let's blow up the Dust Bowl. Let's cast this. And I guess Platinum Angel? Because what else am I doing? No, I don't have to cast it now. There's no reason. I don't believe there's a reason to cast it. I'd be a bit surprised if they cared about my commander, but it looks like they do. Was it like D-Spark? I don't know. I feel like my commander doesn't really matter here. It is a flying threat, actually. Maybe it doesn't matter. That didn't stop me from recasting it, though. I can just recast it. Of course. Alright, let's mill those. Not gonna let them get the second perfect scry. So nothing. Yep. I love how I'm playing against like the Ugin list that has a bunch of non random mana dorks and stuff. It's like a bunch of actually big things that are good outside of Ugin. Because a lot of Ugin lists just play a bunch of cheap spells to spam. Okay, so stealing my opponent's One Ring is just so hilarious. Thank you for the One Ring. Appreciate it. And we play that. So kill this, harass that, And that's it. Blight that thing. So we cast Demonic Tutor. Getting probably Ulamog. We could get actually, you know what? Let's get Mindslaver. Move this here. That doesn't matter. They can't deal with Emrakul. I'm gonna target Emrakul with this actually, just to be super safe. I feel like that's just productive here, so. Their One Ring is no longer a creature. That was Putrefy. If it was an extra turn, randomly generated spell, I think I would have lost the game. So, good thing it wasn't. I will just let him do whatever. Draw. Hey, they're playing Matter Reshaper. That's adorable. That is adorable. Why did they not cast it? Oh, they can't because of the thing. Right, right. Alright, so Mindslaver, I win. Which means search library for any number of colors. Yep, so we don't kill Ugin. I'm going to say good game early to make him feel bad. Yep, get wrecked. I don't care about Ugin. They know I could kill it anyways with damage, so it doesn't matter. But I'm just going to completely and utterly blast my opponent's board state with... Or destroy my opponent's hand with all this colorless mana and stuff. I could have played Arid Arcway turn 1, send a message. That's just Altar of Dementia. Opponent just straight up played Altar of Dementia. That's weird. This is a red-white deck, right? Oh. Oh, it's so they can sack their token instantly. I see. This flips into a multicolored permanent, though. They are doing it instantly. Alright. We like to see this. This makes a cat, I guess? It doesn't make a cat because I can kill it first because of the altar. Rip. It doesn't make a cat. Get wrecked. Alright. And they also targeted me, which is a bit banana sandwich in my onions, but alright. Fair enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a giant K command. Probably more reliable than my highly unreliable commander, but we'll see. Opponent's interested in doing it again. I guess I would too, because it's not like I could do anything the second time. Oh, they wait this time, chat. They wait it. Look at them. Look at them think. Playing this probably means it dies, but maybe that's okay. Because it doubles our mana instantly and they can't interact with it. So we have 6 mana. I think I'm going to cast Mystic Forge Maze Mind's Tome. This way, if my Ultima dies, I at least got something out of it. I do not want that. I also don't want that, but rip. There's nothing I can cast off the top scrying on my turn still, so... And Mishra's Bauble I don't think's in my deck anymore. So I'll just pass. A land is fine, though. 1, 2... It depends. I mean, it depends. Does my commander live? It probably won't, but if it does, I guess I can do something. Discard up to 2 cards, draw that many attacks. There are 7 graveyard... Okay, I don't care about that. Don't care about that. I got an afro hair up my nose, chat. Alright, they milled me anyways, so I don't get access to the land. Fair enough. This can only deal 3 damage. Which does not kill my 4/4. And a good card is actually on top of our deck now. Huge. Oh, they didn't... okay. So... Scry? Do we assume my opponent has Swords of Plowshares? I probably should not assume they have Swords of Plowshares. I'm not going to cast Emrakul this turn. I'm going to swing at their commander. Another land. That is a bit annoying. So, 1, 2... Yeah, I want to move to combat. And see what happens. Let's get rid of the mountain. It's their only red source. This is hilarious. If this actually stops them from playing red cards, that would be the funniest thing in the universe. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Should do it now to play around Esper Sentinel, but I think... Yeah, we're doing it now. We're doing it now. So, exile and make a bunch of stuff. 5... Nope, just for 5. Me and get rid of your red creature. Yep. Bloop. Metatithe? Hey, it is Metatithe. Alright. Didn't play around it. Fair enough. Could have done it for 4. I'm probably never playing around Metatithe, though. That would be difficult to do. A Johnny's Pridemate with nothing that gains life. That also doesn't gain life. Commander is not really relevant anymore. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Ooh, maybe it is, yeah. To cast Emrakul on you. So we're going to take some damage, but there's a chance I can do stuff. I think now we have to draw the land. If my opponent lets me. Yeah. I'd like to draw land here. Wintermoon is not doing anything. Just scry that away. Platinum Angel doesn't do anything. Let's play this. This can't find anything, but with Emrakul I don't care. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 mana. Again, it doesn't matter. Yep. We have 12. Do I want Platinum Angel in my hand? Not really. Not really. Let's, That is fine. I can copy Hedron Archive. This gives me a lot of hedge against problems that could happen. So they have to basically kill me here, which I don't think is possible. Yeah, we're gonna copy the Hedron Archive. So I have more mana. If they blow up a mana rock, I'm gonna feel sad. Right, so just let's do this to make that not possible. Alright, take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, never mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're taking 10 instead. They can sack their entire board to the Altar of Dementia, which I'm sure they will, so I don't want to take their cards, but that's not super relevant. Unless Ghost Vacuum then allows it to be relevant, which is possible. Can I cast my commander first? We have to think about that. So we play land. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we have 10. Yeah, we actually can play our commander first. I cannot play these two in the same turn, but I can do this. Okay. No shot you also have, No shot you also have. Reprieve. Okay. Giving them hexproof doesn't change anything. You still have to sacrifice them. They didn't sack them! Well, I guess to the surprise of honestly probably nobody, this is not good at all. It can beat Ugin, right? It does just, for the most part. The Ugin matchup we saw, my opponent was playing, like, a bunch of expensive mythic rare colorless cards in their Ugin deck, which I would kind of ill-advise doing. You just play 1, 2, 3s, mana rocks, exile spam. But my opponent had, like, this thing going on with a bajillion things that let them stay in the game when Ugin no longer does anything against a colorless deck. So maybe that person's expecting the colorless matchup a lot. They still lost, so I don't even know if it's worth it, but they're playing a bunch of weird, expensive artifacts, you know. But, you know, not everyone's trying to play, like, the sweatiest of sweat stuff. Some people just want to play a card they think is fun, so, you know, keep that in mind. But they were just playing the Ugin variant that would let them stay in the game after they realize Ugin doesn't do anything. And we still beat it. They actually even had Karn. Karn the Great. They had, like, the best thing ever against me, and I still beat Ugin. Like, without the exile effect. It's really tame. So in the matchup like that, we're sitting pretty. But most matchups, my commander's going to die, and it did. So the threat assessment is real. People are aware that if you untap with this, the chance of you windmill slamming a giant threat is actually just possible. Right? You play this, then you untap, you cast Ulamog. That is very realistic, right? It is Forsaken Monument. If this card was not in the game this entire time, people would be way less aware of what this has the ability to do. But Forsaken Monument has kind of shown, you know, it's taken a peek under the rug, and we now know what this is capable of when you untap it. So expect it to die basically every game. And it did. So it is terrible. I think it is terrible. I think it is probably one of the worst, if not the worst, colorless commander. It is excellent when you untap with it. You will not untap with it. There's no color pie situation from any opponent that's going to let you untap with it going through puberty. Realistically. Green, blue, black, white, red. None of them are going to let you untap with this. There's no safe thing except colorless cards. So, Ugin. In the mirror, I guess. I wouldn't say play mirror breaker cards for the mirror, but in the mirror, you can untap with it. So with that in mind, if you do want to play this as your commander, you probably want to play more mana rocks than I did and expect your commander to be playing B. So probably play way more mana sources and slightly less big expensive things maybe. Because you have to be less in on that as it isn't reliable. If you could just put this here, this deck would be amazing. If you could just go boop, this would be one of the best colorless strategies ever. But you cannot do that because this doesn't have stats or isn't a planeswalker. So you can't. Now, to be fair, you kind of have this in the form of 6 mana Ugin, right? Because it's got that discount on it, and that discount is rather huge. You play this on 6, and then you untap, you're at 8 instantly. If you play a mana source, you're at 9. So it's kind of similar. This also has immediate impact. It can blow up anything you want, or draw cards in the form of 2/2s. So Ugin is probably similar enough to this card that I would recommend Ugin, and then you don't have to waste your time playing stuff like Swiftfoot Boots. Because Ujin's not a creature. So, in this kind of thing, because this is a creature, you must nerf yourself and play Ugin instead. You must nerf yourself to just play the 6-mana Ugin. If you want to play the 7-mana Ugin, your deck is different enough to where, you know, you're kind of playing a different thing if you're playing 7-mana Ugin, right? But if you want to play the, haha, look at all the mana I have out of my command zone, Ugin is... It doesn't have Cavernous Souls. Not that that saves you in any matchup that has counterspells for the most part. Anyways, making this uncounterable does not guarantee really anything when it comes to untapping with it. Unless your opponent's like mono blue and they don't have witness protection. Yeah, good luck with that. But anyways, so yeah, you can't do this. So if you want to play this, you have to play this. If you want to play the other Ugin and just do the haha, exile everything you're doing, you can do that as well. I will say with hexproof equipment, Platinum Angel is interesting, and there's a fair amount of aggro decks that can genuinely not kill this and then lose a game. Like, that is possible. I believe there was one game where it was possible had I went for it, but I just didn't go for it. But yeah, not great. Not great, so... is it that time? Oh, shoot, it is. Oh, my goodness. I completely lost track of time. I said I had to go, and then I started rambling on my outro. Alright, yeah, I gotta go.